Hi everyone, and welcome to the final video in our RDSP series. Today we're going to take a deep dive into RDSP rollovers, a topic that's often misunderstood but can be incredibly powerful for preserving wealth and ensuring financial security for loved ones with disabilities. Now, did you know that unused funds from an RRSP or an RRIF or a RIF or an RESP can be transferred into an RDSP tax deferred under specific conditions? Now, this feature honestly is a game changer for estate planning and family financial strategies. Now, there are three main types of rollovers, as you've already heard. One is an RRSP or a RIF rollover. These occur when a parent or grandparent of the RDSP beneficiary passes away. Instead of the RRSP or RIF funds being taxed as a part of the estate, they can be transferred into the RDSP, preserving the value of those funds. Another type of rollover is an RESP rollover, or an education fund rollover. If the beneficiary of an RESP plan doesn't pursue post-secondary education because of their disability, the remaining RESP funds can be transferred into their RDSP provided they meet certain conditions. Now, RRSP contributions, you want to keep in mind that while these rollovers don't attract government grants or bonds, they do grow tax deferred within the RDSP until they're withdrawn. That means those funds can continue to accumulate value over time. Now, rollovers to an RDSP can be a bit tricky, so let's go through the most important rules and conditions you need to know. So here are some eligible sources. For RRSPs or RRIFs or RIFs, rollovers from these accounts are only allowed when the account holder is a deceased parent or grandparent of the RDSP beneficiary. Now, this is why it's important to have an estate planning strategy in place already. RESP rollovers are eligible if the RESP beneficiary is the same RDSP beneficiary and the funds are not needed for education anymore. Now, it's important to keep in mind that there are contribution limits. Rollovers will count towards the RDSP's lifetime contribution of $200,000. For example, if the RDSP already has $180,000 in contributions, you can roll over up to only $20,000. If you're planning to make future contributions or receive other rollovers, you'll need to ensure that you don't exceed this limit. Now, there are some timing requirements. Rollovers must occur before the end of the year in which the RDSP beneficiary turns 60. After that, no new contributions, including rollovers, are permitted. For RESP rollovers, the RESP account must be closed after the transfer, and any government grants in the RESP must be repaid before the rollover is completed. Now, as far as tax treatment is concerned, rollovers are considered private contributions, so they do not generate additional government grants or bonds. That's why it's actually ideal to have an estate plan in place. Rollover amounts will grow tax deferred in the RDSP, and taxes are only paid when the funds are withdrawn, and the taxable portion is attributed to the beneficiary's income, which is often lower than the income of the original account holder, potentially resulting in significant tax savings. Now, if you're considering a rollover to an RDSP, here are a few strategic tips to keep in mind. Number one, plan ahead for estate transfers. If you're a parent or grandparent with a significant RRSP or RIF savings, consider how those funds could support a loved one with a disability. You should speak to an advisor about incorporating rollovers into your estate plan. Number two, it's important to track your contributions. Since rollovers count towards the RDSP's $200,000 contribution limit, it's important for you or your advisor to track all contributions carefully to avoid exceeding the limit. And lastly, don't forget that you can use rollovers as a backup plan if you already have an RESP. If you open an RESP but aren't sure whether the beneficiary will pursue a post-secondary education, remember that an RDSP rollover is always an option provided you meet the criteria. By planning carefully, you can make the most of rollovers and ensure your family's wealth is preserved for those who need it most. RDSP rollovers are a powerful way to preserve unused savings and provide long-term financial security and stability for the beneficiary of your RDSP account. But But as you've seen, there are lots of rules and conditions and acronyms to navigate. That's why working with a knowledgeable advisor and firm can make all the difference. So if you'd like to explore how rollovers fit into your financial or estate plan, reach out to us for a free consultation. Together, we'll ensure that your strategy maximizes the benefits of your RDSP. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.